Defendant pled to leaving the scene of a PI accident, broke their leg, and then left the scene. And she had a 2-1.
She reverted to alcohol. Big mistake. PTSD, the grief reaction.
You just cannot do this. The mandatory maximum on the super drunk is 180 days. I'm going to order.
Today, we are back with Judge Dad. The defendant blew a 0.21% after she hit her neighbor with her car, broke her neighbor's leg in 2 places, and then bounced. She had an interesting excuse about why she was unable to cope with the grief, but it's just that, an excuse. She's also made all these amazing changes in her life since the drunken crash. All that will sway Judge Dad, right? Let's roll, nerds.
Good morning, Judge. Attorney John Camilleri on behalf of Cheryl Ann Pollock, who's present in the courtroom.
Ma'am, your name?
Cheryl Pollock. Cheryl Ann Pollock.
I need to look at one thing here, counsel. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I just want to make sure. So I just want to make sure. Defendant pled to leaving the scene of a PI accident in super drunk, right?
Correct.
So you got your work cut out for on this one, Mr. Camilleri. I don't like this. She's drunk, she hits somebody, breaks their tibia, breaks her fibula, and then takes off. So you got your work cut out. But I'm just forewarning you right now. Have you had a chance to review the screening and assessment report?
We have, Judge.
Are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
No modifications to it, Judge.
Anything you would like to say?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, my client has done a good job, I think, correcting some cognitive issues that she has in dealing with grief. Grief is a situation where some people become overwhelmed and they revert to alcohol to numb the brain. The issue I'm talking about is my client was on the phone with her daughter. They heard a gunshot go off in the background.
This is on the date of the offense?
No, just before, a week and a half before.
Okay.
So she's on the phone with her daughter, bang, a gunshot goes off. It's her son-in-law. He passes away from the gunshot. She's been dealing with this situation with her daughter. I believe she has PTSD from it. She was intimately involved in that incident. You hear a gunshot go off and it's your son-in-law on the other side of the wall on the telephone. I believe, unfortunately.
Did they charge somebody in connection with that?
Pardon me?
Did they charge somebody?
No. As far as not as of today, but I'm not intimately aware of exactly what happened there, but that's what happened. Ms. Pollock heard that gunshot go off. It was her son-in-law's death, and she reverted to alcohol. Big mistake. Big mistake. Alcohol numbs the mind for a short period of time, and then the grief comes back. Then you realize, your hangover is worth nothing. And the risks you take in drinking are worth nothing. They don't cure the problem. Ms. Pollock, after this event, after the first pretrial, went to see Dr. Bejan. He's a PhD. He's right here local. She's met him 15 times, one-on-one, weekly, out of her own pocket. She doesn't have insurance cover for that. In the meantime, she's got her 90-year-old mother living with her. And that's a handful. These are not excuses. I know you want to know these things. It's just what this lovely lady is dealing with. Judge, she's been on the sober link. She's been testing 5 times a day. Perfect. Not a problem. She's been going to AA as ordered by you 3 times a week. Not a problem.
That was January 9th.
That's right.
So she's gone at least 24 times.
21, she just tells me.
Okay.
3 times a week.
3 times.
That's about right. Judge Hessen ordered it January 9th.
Okay, so she's been doing great. She regrets this whole thing. I mean, the person that was involved, these 2 people involved are just right down the street from where she lives. They know each other. But again, Judge.
The victim?
Yeah, she was here at the pretrial. They said hello, they talked. Judge, I'm not a man of excuses.
Judge Hessen ordered her not to have any contact with prosecution.
The lovely lady was in the courtroom. They walked out, they said hello, and that was it. It's not like they had tea together for sure. But Your Honor, I'm not a person to give excuses. I've been before you many, many times. However, I got to explain to you what was going on with, I believe, PTSD, the grief reaction, etc. And I believe there's some mitigating circumstances here. I don't see many people who walk in your courtroom and say, I was on the phone with my daughter and then a gunshot goes off while we're on the phone and it's my son-in-law. I've never heard that in your courtroom. So I thought that is important for you to hear. I believe that's what she was dealing with. I believe that was the grief. She's going to counseling one-on-one. I've read the recommendation. We're asking the court to let her continue seeing Dr. Bejan in lieu of the outpatient treatment. I think this is about grief reaction more than it is
She's still scoring category 4 on both the alcohol and drug use. So she's got a problem.
I understand that. And I think the problem is, again, dealing with your problems with alcohol. And I think she was trying to suppress that grief she had. But other than that, Your Honor, hang on. She's been on the sober link. She's done great. She showed, let's say, she showed that she can manage her grief by going to counseling and not reverting to alcohol. And I think that's what this case is about. Managing your emotions, the grief, the PTSD in a more appropriate manner, adult manner versus reverting to alcohol. And I believe that sums it up. And, but she's done great. Hang on, excuse me. I'm talking. And that's what this case is, Judge. She's not working because she's taking care of her mother. She's retired. And we're asking the court to adopt the recommendation. We do believe it's fair.
It's overly fair. It's not,
it is fair.
It's more than fair. It's not harsh enough, if you ask me.
It's very fair, but I do believe the fairness is in light of the situation. I don't think the probation department's ever heard a case where someone's on the phone and here's a gun go off.
But that was not on the date of the offense.
No, but
and I'm not poo-hooing that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there wasn't issues that she was dealing with, but on this case, she went out, she got completely intoxicated. She drove into somebody, she broke their leg and then left the scene. And she had a 2-1. That's my issue with it. These are the reasons we have the drunk driving laws, so people don't get hurt.
Understand.
And she not only caused somebody to get hurt, she then had the wherewithal to leave the scene of the accident. So I can't ask her these things. It's a no contest plea, but please, this is not right. So that's the way I feel about it. Anything else?
Nothing further.
Ms. Pollock, is there anything you would like to say? These were no contest pleas. I'm prohibited from asking you questions with respect to it, but I'll listen to anything that you have to say.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've reflected a lot about all of this and truly, truly sorry. And it will never happen again.
You don't need to apologize to me. You didn't break my legs. But my issue here is exactly what I said. You went out, you hurt somebody, and then you left. Then you left. Drunk or not drunk, dealing with remorse or not. And I am not underestimating what you did here, young ma'am. I'm not. I'm not underestimating the fact that you were dealing with a lot. There's no question about it. There's also no question about it that we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. I try to be understanding. But there are certain aspects here that I'm really troubled by in this case. And we can rationalize our conduct all day long. Your lawyer, that's why I told him he has a hard one here. We can rationalize whatever we want. But you just cannot do this. In monthly testing, there's no way I'm going along with that. So I'm going to attribute all the fees that are common in nature to the super drunk charge, okay? 24 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. All right, 24 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. I don't write laws. The voters voted for medical marijuana. You have a medical marijuana certificate. I'm not saying you can use marijuana. It's still illegal under state law. But I will tell you that I will not violate you if you test positive for THC. Otherwise, no alcohol, no illegal drugs, and again, no marijuana unless you provide proof that you have a valid medical marijuana certificate. Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. You're to submit to chemical testing, PBTs, and ETGs. That will be as follows. Weekly for 3 months. If you're clean, bi-weekly for 4 months. If you're clean, I'll make it monthly. You're to attend AA, NA at least 3 times a week until you're in intensive outpatient treatment. Once you get in intensive outpatient treatment, you no longer have to attend AA or NA. You're also to attend the Victims Impact Panel. Restitution, if any, will be handled through civil litigation. The victim did not show, so I'm not going to award any restitution. Maybe there's a civil case pending. I don't know. And you're to be on a SoberLink device until May the 15th of 25. Now, these probation fees I'm going to attribute to the super drunk case. So let's talk about the fines there. It's $300 in fines, $200 in costs, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment, 6 1/4. Probation fees are $480 for a total of $1,105. You have cost of recovery on that of $225, bringing their total on that case to $1,330. On the other file, I'm going to go light. In terms of the fines and costs, you have to take your hat off, sir. $100 fines, $150 costs, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment, $375. The mandatory maximum on the super drunk is 180 days. The mandatory maximum on the other case on the leaving the scene of a personal injury accident is 365 days. I'm going to order 7 days jail. Credit 1, you're going to serve 6. And I want you to understand, not only did you hurt somebody, you drove away, and that's my issue with it. I want you to understand that. You hurt somebody, you broke their leg, and you drove away from it. That's it.
Your Honor, there was no indication that there was a broken leg.
I'm not going to change my mind. You can shake your head all you want. We go out and drink and drive and we start hurting people and then we drive away on top of it. There's a penalty to be paid. You don't like it. I don't care. I'm going to let her serve 2 weekends in jail. That's going to be, I've had him check with Flat Rock. 2 weekends, and I'll let her serve it this way. You're going to serve, did they specify the days? It's going to be right. I'm going to make.
They said back weekend.
March 7th to the 9th. That will be, and March the 14th.
Your Honor, in lieu of
to
this
the
jail
six-
time, since
no.
she's taking care of her 90-year-old
I don't
mother.
care. She broke somebody's leg. I'm not going to argue with you. And then drove away. 7 a.m. March 7th to 10 p.m. March the 9th. And then March the 14th to the 16th. And that will be 7 a.m. to 10 PM. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. The total amount owed here is
Judge.
$1,695.
I got a different total. I
Judge.
got $13.90. Did you charge the screening fee?
Let me double check.
Judge, in terms of the sober link.
Hang on a second. 6 1/4, 685, 1,085, 1165, 1365. You're right. That's 1390. The sober link, she's going to be on until May 15th. She's going to deal with probation on that.
So she won't be on the sober link while she's doing these days.
Well, I don't know what they're going to have her do.
It won't be, she'll be.
She's going to deal with probation. It might cost more to have it taken off and then re-put on, re-fixed, reutilized. All right? That's
Judge,
it?
can we suggest that she not go on the sober link until she's done
No.
with this? It's just gonna be
It's money.
on and off, on and off.
Mr. Camilleri. No, I've heard enough. Thank you. If she didn't expect this, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. Thank you. You'll meet with probation today, ma'am.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy watching this content, please like and subscribe. It helps new channels like this one gain exposure. There is a lot more good court to come, so if you like what you saw, tell your friends. If you didn't, tell me, and let me know what you'd like to see and how I can improve. Thanks.